Hello friends, how are you doing today? Welcome back once again to a fresh new episode of Visa Guru, a first ever free consultancy channel on YouTube. Today we'll be talking about on a very important topic. Yes, today we are going to talk about how to get a student visa of Sweden. So Sweden is one of the top educationally recognized countries all over the world, and the students, they face many problems when they have to search about the required documents and the process how to apply for a student visa of Sweden. So for studying in Sweden, you need to keep in mind a certain factors which I am going to elaborate to you one by one. So first of all, we'll talk about the 4 important factors and how you can start studying in Sweden. So first of all, you need to get yourself admitted in a university or a college in Sweden. So it's very important. In Sweden, there are certain type of universities and colleges. For a certain type of list that is a recognized college or university in Sweden, you'll have to go to the website of Study in Sweden. There you find a list of different colleges and universities which are recognized by the government. So you can get admission in those colleges and universities. A certain type of institutions, for example, folk high schools or other folk universities, they are not considered as international universities or colleges. So there are some certain conditions that apply on those colleges and universities. For recognized colleges and universities in Sweden, friends, you need to have a full-time unconditional acceptance letter for studying in Sweden. So this you can get by applying to a university. There are lots of universities in Sweden. You can apply for online admission, and for this you need to use the services of universityadmissions.se. The link I'll be giving you in description. You can go onto that website. You can find the options, universities, colleges, and how to get admission in Sweden. That is a very nice and easy portal to use. So you can use that portal to get admission in Sweden. So then you have to pay a part of your fees. So since 2011, Sweden has been charging tuition fee to the international students. Before it was free, of course. So nowadays it's only free for the students who are from Europe. So for other international students, for example, from India and Pakistan or Bangladesh, one has to pay in advance a part of tuition fee. Other than that, there is no chance to get an unconditional acceptance letter from a university. So once you have got an unconditional letter of acceptance for university, you can then further go for your application process. And for getting admission, you need to be having a bachelor degree to go into a bachelor course in Sweden, and for a master degree from India and Pakistan to go into a master program in Sweden. For example, you must have 14 years studies for graduation and 16 years studies for the master program if you're applying from South Asian countries, for example, Pakistan, India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And you need to do IELTS. That's the one most important thing. So minimum score that you need to get for a master or a graduation is 6.5, 213 points in TOEFL. So once you have got your admission, once you have admission letter in your hand, and you have had IELTS or TOEFL also, and you have got a passport and all other additional documents, for example, your birth certificate or family registration certificate or marriage registration certificate, all these documents you have in your hands, the next step is that you have to have a health insurance for studying in Sweden. If you are studying less than a year in Sweden, then you cannot get a health insurance from Sweden. You have to arrange that from your country. And if you are studying for a year or more than a year in Sweden, then once you have to have a health insurance from your own country of origin, and then after, when you get a visa and you go to Sweden, you can get the health insurance from local companies in Sweden. Talking about students who are going to complete a part of their studies in Sweden, for example, they have a part of their studies that they have completed in their country of origin and a part of their studies they're going to complete in Sweden, they cannot apply for residence permit for students. They have to apply a residence permit to visit to Sweden. And then further, the students who are going for doctoral programs, for a so-called sandwich model, well, they can apply for a student residence permit, even though they have completed a part of their studies in another country of origin. So this was it for admission and all this process. The next thing is the maintenance, the funds that you need to show. So one very clear thing, you need to have your personal bank account. You cannot show a sponsorship from your parents, from your relatives, from your sister or brothers. There's no such system available in Sweden nowadays. You have to show your personal bank statement, and yes, you can have a joint account with your partner if you have one, for example with your husband or wife. Otherwise, you need to show your personal bank account, and if your course is of a length of 1 year, you need to show the maintenance funds for 10 months. For example, from January 2018, you need to show that you have in your personal bank account 8,190 Swedish crowns per month. So you need to show this for 10 consecutive months. For example, it's about 8,100 and so it's about 81,900 Swedish crowns for a year. It's almost $10,000. So if you're going to study for 2 years, you need to show your bank maintenance funds for about double to this. For example, almost $20,000. So for 1 year, you need to show in your personal bank account that you have had money of around 81,900 Swedish crowns, equivalent to 10,000 US dollars, plus the remaining fee of a year. And further on, when you apply for 2 years of course or 3 years of course, you need to show the consecutive fundings. But this is important. This must be your personal bank account. Once you have these all documents, your passport, your admission letter, your language proficiency letter, and all other additional documentation, plus you have had maintenance to survive for the living cost in Sweden. These all documents you combine, and then it comes the application process. So friends, talking about the next step, well, the next step is very important. The next step is how to apply the visa. Well, there are two types of visa application systems in Sweden. Number one, you can apply online to the Swedish Migration Board. Well, what are the benefits of applying online? First of all, the visa process will be shortened. You will not have to wait for a longer period of time, and it takes about 1 to 2 months until you are asked to submit additional documents. So if you apply online, you have to go to the Swedish Migration Board website, and there's a link. I'll be giving a link also in description. You can find that description how to apply online. So for applying online, first of all, you will have to create your personal account over there with your original email address. You can start submitting online application. So you'll have to upload all the documents in PDF format on this online visa portal. So you'll have to have a scanner at home to scan the documents, educational documents, all other additional documents, passport copies and everything, scanned copies of your unconditional offer of acceptance at a Swedish university or college. So once you apply online, you'll have to also pay the visa application fee online, and for paying that you must have a credit card in hand. So this was it. You can be called for submitting your fingerprints and a biometric photograph at the local Swedish embassy. So you'll be receiving an email from the Swedish Migration Board. What are the steps you need to follow first? Once you get an approval, you'll be receiving an email from Swedish Migration Board, and then you'll have to go with your health insurance plus passport to the local Swedish embassy to get your residence permit. And then secondly, if you apply on paper, the normal conventional way to apply for a visa, you'll have to gather all your documents, your original documents, plus a set of photocopy. These documents must include your passport, your birth certificate, your family registration certificate, your marriage registration certificate if you are married, plus your documents plus your educational documents, all educational documents, transcript and certificates, and furthermore the proof of your maintenance in Sweden, a personal bank account, and all other possible documents. So the language proficiency test report form, all these documents, plus the visa application form 113511. You have to fill it out, and if you are accompanied by your partner, your wife or husband, they'll also have to fill out an extra application form with additional documents. So once you have to apply, for example, if you have to apply on paper. You need to get first appointment for that. You'll have to send an email to the local Swedish embassy for getting an appointment to submit your visa application to study in Sweden or to get the student visa of Sweden. You'll have to get the appointment first, then you can go over there on the set aside day and submit your visa application with your biometrics and all fingerprints and all this stuff. So you can be called upon for an additional interview. So be prepared for the interview. Your English speaking skills must be good enough to attend an interview. You can be called upon for an interview, especially the people or the students who are applying from South Asian countries. So they can be called upon for an interview. So do not get worried. The interview questions are regarding your visa application. You can prepare them well before time. So this was it, friends. I'm hopeful that you have liked the video. If yes, then thumbs up. You can also dislike the video if you want. I will never mind that. And you can subscribe the channel if you have found the information very, very important for you. Subscribe that red button below and you will be receiving further notifications whenever I upload a new video on YouTube in future. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll be waiting for your comments in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to assist you and I'll be giving you answers of your questions. I also live stream on almost every Sunday, so you can join me on Sunday at 3 p.m. German Standard Time, GMT +1. That is the exact timing. So friends, till next time, thanks a lot. Bye bye.